The following presentation is for mature audiences only.
Who are you?
He's a fine man.
All hell is broken loose.
He's a great broadcaster.
He's a very powerful guy. Absolutely brilliant.
Feared by men, adored by women.
He's a smart boy. It's patriotic.
It's no big deal.
It's the end of the world.
I might as well tell you now. He's a monkey.
And how you doing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages? Welcome into another edition of The Wyldeside with Eric Clark. I am your host, Eric Clark, saying thank you for taking time out of your busy day to give my video a watch and a listen. If you like it, like it. If you think other people are going to dig it, give it a share. Make sure you hit that notification button so when we do our live streams on Wednesdays and Saturdays, about an hour out, you get a heads up. You can join the chat. Fun and frivolity. 2 hours, Wednesdays and Saturdays. And if you have a band, song, video, something you would like me to check out, the best place to get me your suggestion is over on the Discord server. I made the mistake of telling everybody, sure, anyway, but no, now we have one nice organized place, thank you to Tria, that you can get your suggestion to me. Over on the Discord server, left-hand side, YouTube reaction requests, drop a link with a little bit of info, and that helps me keep everything nice and organized. Before we get started today, thank you to Connect 200 Music to See and Aunt Betty's Nut Butter. Now, I am dealing with the beginnings of a nice little chest cold, so I'm going to try not to cough directly into the microphone. So if you would bear with me, I'll try to keep everything nice and brief. Today's suggestion is from Rich Neath. Thank you for the shirt, bro, and the coffee. Greatly appreciated. He said, hey, I looked through your videos. I'm not very organized. And he noticed that I have not done this particular Nightwish song. I thought I had, but I have not. So today we are back with Nightwish, and we are back at Tampere, and we are checking out Endless Form's Most Beautiful. It's Nightwish on the Wyldeside. I thought I had done this. Right off the bat, nice. Gnarly. my God, dude.
Thank you, Kiitos.
Okay, man. Once again, I laugh, dude. It's not fair. It's cheat code, whatever you want to call it, man. Let me just say, shame on anyone in the industry who was aware of this when it was happening and didn't, excuse me, and didn't see dollar signs. I'm sorry. So this is a vulgar song, right? This is a very vulgar track. It's incredible how he does that, how Tuomas does that. I talk about him being the baker of metal layer cakes here. This song, I'm getting this. Look, there's a vulgar beauty here. I've said it before about this band, about her vocals and his music and how they combine to create these. I think one time I used the metaphor like a blooming flower in a battlefield. It's this incredible way that he has of constructing a song, because what is music? Music, anyone who watches my videos is saying it out loud. What is music? Music is layers of sound. So Tuomas builds these trifles of metal, and he understands exactly amounts. I use the term measures, how much balance of his meal. Perfect balance every time. This is like the most metal progressive rock will ever sound. If it gets any more metal than that, it's just metal. If it gets any more symphonic than that, it's right. So this is a very good example of what was to come. This is a harbinger. That's what I mean by, if there was anybody in the industry who was there and weren't like, do I have any business cards on me? All right, do I have any business cards? It's incredible. Dude, come on, man. It's the word I'm looking for. The contrast of tones that are bouncing around inside this track are creating these metamorphosis of sounds and tones all blending in with each other and flowing perfectly through these spectrums. And I caught it. And I hope nobody overlooks it. It may sound like a very straightforward drum track, but what that dude is doing back there with these fills and these little rolls, you're not getting from maybe a handful of people would be that creative and that subtle at the same time. And that's why I laugh, because you're talking about a group of musicians who are all top of their field and yet are willing to play this musical double dutch with this creation from the mind of Tuomas, because they understand, they're on the same page. Just another great example of what a band in a pocket looks like, what a band in a groove sounds like. And again, Marco doing his thing, dude. I love that little thing that he does with his vocals. Super metal, yet I'll give the guy credit. Not that me giving anyone credit, not like me giving. I know. I heard it as I said it. I heard my own arrogance when I said it. Here, let me give you my stamp of approval, like it's needed. But what I meant to say is I have to respect how he has created such a unique signature to his presence, his tone, his delivery. It's this really cool, unique way that he has of singing, where you think he's going to go down, he goes up. Think he's going to go up, he goes down. You think he's going to do one thing and he does another, and yet he understands harmony within that uniqueness. So it's this incredible display. But as always, Floor Jansen's vocals, again, I say the word harbinger. Go ahead and look it up. Because you're going to be looking up a lot of stuff. That's another thing, too. Somebody needs to make a database of Tuomas Holopainen songs so people can go, what does that mean? What are these things? You got to read a book to understand some of these. But I talk about her texture when she sings. And it's not something a lot of people talk about. The texture of her vocals are not antiseptic. They are astringent in their cleanliness. They almost smell like pine sol, right? Like that's how clean they are. And when you perform live, excuse me, again, I apologize. When you perform live, there's going to be fluctuation in your control, which will then affect that texture, right? Because you're walking around, it's hot, you've been performing one right after the other. So sometimes you're going to hear singers ramp up. They're called onsets, by the way. You're going to hear them kind of into their vocals, or they're going to out of their vocals. I have never heard her do it in a live performance. I have never heard, even when she whispers, even when she is doing the breathy, angelic vocals. It is a solid, thick, rich, textured vocal of pure life light. And when I say life light, I talk about colors when I hear. So her colors, no matter how low she goes in her register, she always provides, because of that power, because of that stability in her textured vocals, it's this crazy, again, there's no hiding. And yet she's right out there with it, and it's this perfect control. No matter where in the vocal she is, there's this perfect textured vocal coming from her. So that's what I was meaning to say. And the colors that she gives off, that's what I was going with. The colors that her vocals, no matter where the register, are always going to be your yellows, your greens, your pinks, your the colors of my wall here, these life colors, these colors that breathe. They breathe positive energy. No matter what the tone, the tenor, the theme, or whatever, her vocals provide this. It's like that painting, The Birth of Venus. It's just this, no matter what's going on, there is a positive beauty in the colors that she creates with her vocals. And speaking of colors, I will never do a Nightwish video and not talk about my man, Empu. I have literally filled up notebooks with comments about this guy. I don't want to say it because then I'm going to put that on Empu. I don't want to say it. But anyone who subscribes to my channel knows my feelings and thoughts of Dave Mustaine. Okay? And I was going to make a comment, but I'm not going to. Instead, I'll say this. You would be pressed to find a guitar player on this planet who can create as many perfect tones for a song than that guy right there. You could roll up on him. I firmly believe that you could roll up on Empu and say, "Hey man, I need you to play rhythm in this beer polka band." And he would give you the perfect guitar for a polka band, salsa band, metal band, reggae band. You could walk up to that dude and say, "Do Animotion Obsession," and he would give you the perfect tone. And when I say perfect tone, the thing about guitar players, one of the stigmas that guitar players run into is the pomposity of the job, the role. you're the lead guitar player in a rock band. With that comes a certain aura, a certain predisposition expected by people. So when you say that guy's the lead guitar player in a band, they automatically have these, wild and crazy kind of idea in your head. Empu is like, I can't remember the guy's name. I knew him in the Army. He was this dude that if you saw him on the street, you'd think, I want to get his wallet. Next thing you know, you're just one of his statistics. I mean, seriously, man. The dude is so humbly unique. I really hope that at some point in Empu's life, he understands the work that he's put in. He's proud of that. There's nothing wrong with being proud of that. There's nothing wrong with saying, dude, he's put in the work. So I know that a lot of people in the United States are unfamiliar, and I'm doing my best to bring his name up as often as possible when having these inane conversations about guitar players. But Empu is unique because no matter what Tuomas, again, this guy, his brain is creating these very specific, these very individually perspective ideas about tones and sounds and colors and things like that. And he knows right there, I got it. From David Gilmour to I can get any tone, any riff, any sound I want out of this guy. And he'll do it perfectly because Billy Gibbons talks about what he created. Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top, considered even by Hendrix to be one of the best guitarists of that era. He created something called a dirty G. It's a very specific chord. It has a very specific sound to it. And it has become a signature for I call it when you want to get crunchy. When you want to get crunchy, you dirty up your chords. This dude in that song played the cleanest dirty chords I've heard. There's no fuzz, there's no wobble, there's no rattle. Those were clean, dirty chords, bro. Come on, man. Come on, dude. Come on. Like I said, it's not fair. That's a harbinger. Again, sitting in the crowd at Tampere back then, you like that's the future. Okay, crap. I could just imagine how many people were just learning how to play instruments and were like, I want to head down to the pawn shop now. So, yeah, I'm always impressed by these guys, dude. Their balance, their creativity, their subtlety, their humility. Everything about this band should be the barometer for any band out there. And that includes songwriting. That includes stage presence. That includes go back and watch how they perform on stage with each other. The ease, the comfort that they find within themselves on that stage creates another aura around them. So when you see them, this is what, again, makes me laugh. Because you see them bouncing around and goofing with each other, unplugging monitors and stuff like that. But when you're listening, you're like, you have time for that? You have time to goof around? Okay. All right. So they do it with such a plum that it almost belies the difficulty of what they do. And I hope that people really understand that, dude, you're not doing that, man. You're not doing that. That's a unicorn of metal right there. It really is. So thank you, Rich, the Neath family, for not only your suggestion, but for your kindness and your gifts. Still drinking on that coffee, so thank you very much for that. Endless Forms Most Beautiful by Nightwish live at Tampere as suggested by Rich. If you have a suggestion for me that you would like me to do a breakdown reaction to, the best place to do that is over on the Discord server. Head over to the Discord server on the left-hand side. You will see the tab for YouTube reaction requests. Drop your link and a little bit of info right there in that sub, and I will get to it when I can. I just go in and start, as I'm doing, just sit down and start knocking out a couple of videos. So get over to Discord, join the server, Discord, join the server, join the fun. It's just, mindless frivolity. We don't talk politics, religion, anything like that. We just talk about rock and roll and pop culture. So head over to Discord. I said it right that time. Also, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Hit that notification button. And, of course, give it a thumbs up, man. Help me out in the algorithm. Also, if you want to help the channel grow, we do have a Patreon. Everything is linked down below. Thank you to Connect 200 Music to See and Aunt Betty's Nut Butter. Thank you to all of you for taking time out of your day to watch my video. Make sure you're looking out for each other. Make sure you're looking out for your neighbor. Try to do at least one good thing a day. I am Eric Clark, and this is The Wild Side.